Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Artlist.io.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Rebel Racing Network and the National Outlaw Racing Association Cup Series. I am your commentator tonight, Austin Householder, and we are coming to you live from the virtual Chicago Street Course, a 2.2-mile road course located on the streets of Chicago, Illinois, where these drivers are going to compete for 50 laps. The weather tonight is... We have an outside air temperature of 76 degrees, Clear skies, no clouds in the sky, and the track temperature is a whopping 119 degrees. Those hot temperatures are going to be a challenge for these drivers tonight. The track is going to be very slick as these drivers attempt to navigate the streets of Chicago for a 50-lap battle. The rules for tonight's event, these drivers are going to be given 3 sets of tires, 100% fuel, and 1 quick repair to complete the race. And I've just completed a meeting with our league owner, Terrell Wheeler. There are going to be no full course cautions tonight. I repeat, no full course cautions unless absolutely necessary. So unless we get an absolute pile up, there will be no full course cautions. So we can expect green flag racing throughout the race tonight. All right, and we are currently watching Staff Sergeant Benson on his qualifying run. Jacob Stoudemire already in the chat rooting for Staff Sergeant Benson out here in that 88 U.S. Army car. We've got Thomas Adams, a familiar face from the ARCA series, joining the chat saying, he wishes he was running. Well, you will get your chance tomorrow night, Thomas. We got Russ the Bus and Wayne Houseworth rooting for Staff Sergeant Benson as well. Staff Sergeant Benson currently sitting on the pole right now as these drivers complete their qualifying runs. And as these drivers run through their qualifying runs, we're going to head down trackside for our opening ceremonies presented by URA Flyovers. At this time, please stand as you are able, remove your hats, place your hand over your heart, and veterans, a lot of those in the chat tonight, render a hand salute as the United States Marine Corps Band performs our national anthem. All right, and a big thank you to URA Flyovers for that flyover and those opening ceremonies. We have Samson LaCroix offering his salute in the chat. We appreciate it, Samson. These drivers are finishing up their qualifying runs now. Joseph Benson still sitting on the pole. Seth LaCroix rolling off second. Joshua Edmonds will roll off third as they stand right now. Currently have Jamie Dunning, a new face here on the Rebel Racing Network, completing their qualifying run. We've also got a handful of drivers opting to sit out qualifying, starting from the rear tonight. This is going to be be a big challenge for some drivers. These are typically oval cars, and we are going to the streets of Chicago for a road course race tonight. Expect a big shakeup in the standings tonight. And we're going to give you a little update on the point standings as we roll into tonight's race. Currently, we have Tyler Street leading the points race with 329 points. In second place, we have Staff Sergeant Joseph Benson with 307 points, but Samuel Reed is tied with Joseph Benson with 307 points also. Joseph Truskowski is currently sitting in fourth place in points with 303 points, and Joshua Edmonds rounds out your top five with 302 points. So we currently have a tight points race coming into this one. All right, time is winding down on qualifying. A couple drivers still opting to sit out of qualifying. But we are going to roll through our official grid for tonight. And starting in first place, we have Joseph Benson. Second place to his outside will be Seth LaCroix in the 29 machine. In third place, we have Joshua Edmonds rolling off in the 17 machine. Samuel Reed in the 56 machine will start fourth. Joseph Truskowski will start fifth tonight. Jamie Dunning will roll off sixth in the 54 machine. In seventh, we have Jared Kuno, a new face here in the Cup Series and on the Rebel Racing Network in the 22 machine. Chris Evans will roll off eighth in the 23 machine. Jonathan Dominics will start ninth in the 45 machine. In 10th place, we have Chris Jones in the 33 machine. In 11th, we will have Christopher Foote in the 21 car. In 12th, we have Aaron Yancey in the 98 machine. Rolling off 13th, we have Eric Jorgensen in the 59 car. In 14th, we have Terrell Wheeler in the 43 machine. In 15th, we will have Brianna Lavin in the 74 car. In 16th will be Tyler Clifford in the 86 machine. In 17th, we have Scott Leonard in the 6 car. In 18th, we have Byron Gay in the 20 machine. And rounding out your field, starting 19th, we will have Zach Bartow in the 19 machine. All right, we've got Donald in here rooting for Josh and Seth tonight, wishing them good luck. I Once Newt said we've got to get some in-car footage for tonight. Don't worry, we have already talked about that with league owner Terrell Wheeler. We will be definitely be getting some more in-car footage tonight as these these guys navigate the streets of Chicago. All right, we've got Thomas Adams in the chat looking to know who's won what this season. Where's the points leader starting? So, looking back last week to Dover, we had Joseph Benson take home the win at Dover in week 2. Week 1, we had Samuel Reed take home the win. And looking for our points leader, Samuel Street has opted not to race this season as these cars are coming down the front stretch, getting ready to go green. Joseph Benson taking over the lead. Already got some trouble. Looks like Joseph Truskowski involved in that. And cars are already turned sideways. A rough start to the Chicago street course tonight. We are still rolling green once again. We are not going to throw the caution flag unless absolutely necessary tonight. It's like a lot of people caught up in that as they get straight and get back going. But once again, it looks like Tyler Street, our points leader, has opted out of the Chicago street race. The rest of the bus staying right out of the gate. And yes, that is the street course at Chicago. And I believe someone just blew their engine as well. So some tough breaks here. We're going to go back, look as we see the 29 of Seth LaCroix spinning. Coming off of the turn there. Gets it back straight, and he's going to continue on. Back, see what started all this trouble at the beginning. Joseph Benson taking off. I do believe the 17 checked up there. That is the 17 of Joshua Edmonds checked up. The 42 got in the back of him. And mayhem ensues right off the start. We're going to go back live here. Joseph Benson opening up a 2-second lead on the pack. Pulling away from everyone. Currently looking at the battle for third. What was a battle, they have now spread out here. The 22 of Jared Kuno sitting in third right now. He was battling with Chris Evans. Was able to pull away. Go back, look at Byron Gay in the 20 car, Aaron Yancey in the 98, and Brianna Lavin in the 74. In close proximity here. All right, Eric Castaneda. I apologize if I butchered your name. Reading for Staff Sergeant Benson as well. And Sam's saying Josh Rex Seth at least once a race. I will say this, though. This is a road course, a new challenge to a lot of drivers who, tend to focus on oval. But we've got Big Staff Sergeant Benson in that 88 currently pulling away. Let's ride along with him, see what he is seeing as he navigates these streets of Chicago. Just look at how much he has to slow down as he goes through the turns there. All right, and we currently have Jared Kuno already on pit road early on here in this race. I believe he has some wheel damage he has opted to get taken care of here. And Wayne saying Big Benson already has a 3-second lead. Yes, he does. Russ the Bus saying true friendship right there with Josh and Seth. Are they really your friend if you don't race them harder? You might take out a friend or two here in iRacing. Jared Kuno rolling off the pit road now, currently in 14th, looking to make his way back up. It is still a 50-lap race. We still have 45 laps to go. So some time for Jared to make up some positions here. I'm seeing Aaron Yancey and Seth LaCroix involved in the incident. Let's go back, take a look, see what happened here. There's Aaron Yancey in that 98. Looks like Aaron Yancey over braking. Slows Seth LaCroix up. Seth LaCroix avoids contact there. He's going to keep rolling, though. Once again, due to time constraints, we are not having full course cautions unless absolutely necessary tonight. So if you spin out here on the streets of Chicago, that is a very tough break for you. It is on you to make up the time that you lost there. I'm seeing Joshua Edmonds slow on track. Joshua Edmonds on pit road. The software had him flagged as crashed. It looks like he was just taking it slow, getting off of pit road there. But he did slow up that 98 of Aaron Yancey. Aaron Yancey getting into the outside wall. Wayne's saying Big Benson in a 10-second lead. Check to see if his car has a restrictor plate. Wayne, I do not believe this is a restrictor plate track. But I tell you what, they will be going over his car very, very thoroughly on the tech pad tonight. We're looking at the 33 of Chris Jones. He just went around another part of that veteran racing team. Tough break there for Chris Jones, a member of the same team as Big Staff Sergeant Benson in that 88 machine. Tough break for him as he's going to look to recover. We go back here and look at the 54 of Jamie Dunning, currently sitting in second place. 12 seconds behind that 88 of Joseph Benson. We'll ride along with Jamie. Jamie, that was a rough corner there. Riding along with these drivers, we can see just how tough the Chicago street course is. All your instincts are telling you to floor it, go fast, catch up to the guy in front of you. But you've got to really slow going through these corners here. Otherwise, you're going to end up at the wall. Jamie Dunning currently 13 seconds behind the 88 of Joseph Benson, who is running away with this one. And we see the 42 of Joseph Truskowski was in the outside wall there. Joseph falling a lap down there to Joseph, the NCO Benson. Truskowski in that 42 IC light car. We've seen Joseph show some skill, especially on the drafting tracks, but some frustrations throughout the races thus far. They are continuing here tonight. And Russ saying Staff Sergeant Benson better at the road courses. I will say this. He is dominating here tonight. He did have a little bit of an advantage on that start there, though. With those cars getting bunched up, he was able to pull away from the pack, get out there on that clean air. We're going to go back, take a look at the 98 car of Aaron Yancey. Already caught up in a couple of incidents tonight. But still hanging on to that lead lap position there. Currently sitting back there in 11th. We see Joseph Benson try to close the gap there. Joseph Benson now closing the gap on the 98 car of Aaron Yancey. Seen Christopher Foote involved in the accident. We'll go back, take a look, see what happened here. Christopher Foote with some... Just sending it in too hot. Gets into the outside wall there. Tough break for that 21 car. Christopher Foote opted to go down pit lane, but it looks like Joshua Edmonds and Chris Jones also involved in an incident here. We'll go back, take a look, see what happened here. Another member of that veteran racing team. Once again, that's 17 of Joshua Edmonds sending it in too hot. Gets into the outside wall trying to go through a turn. Joseph Benson has now just lapped the 98 of Aaron Yancey. Joseph now setting his sight on his teammates of Samuel Reed and Seth LaCroix, both members of the veteran racing team. We're going to ride along with Samuel Reed. As he does his best to hold off Joseph Benson. Once again, pay attention to how much these drivers have to slow down as they go through these corners. We have Russ the Bus saying, just let him pass you guys. Benson has places to be. I will agree with you that Benson says he has places to be, but once again, this is a race. You know, you don't want to let that guy by you just yet. You know, you can hope and pray for a full course caution, but as spread out as these cars, I do not think we're going to get one tonight. I do believe that 88 of Joseph Benson has elected to back off a little bit, save some tires. Once again, this is a 50-lap race. Roughly going to be about 120 miles. Yeah, gotta save some tires here. Make sure that you can keep that 8-second lead over Jamie Dunning. Once again, that lead was 13 seconds before. Jamie Dunning closing the gap here. I believe Joseph Benson did run into some trouble. It allowed Jamie to close that gap. Joseph currently opening that gap up again. Wayne's saying he already lapped him. Not sure who he's talking about, but we do only have 8 cars left on the lead lap. And Benson looking to close. Benson opening up that lead again. Now up to almost 12 seconds over Jamie Dunning. I'm seeing Chris Evans involved in an accident here. Let's go back, take a look, see what happened there. Chris Evans getting loose, keeping that car straight, though. Wayne saying Dunning needs to close the gap. The lap guys wouldn't get out of his way. I must say, Wayne, I do agree with you there. Joseph opening that lead back up again. Back to 12 seconds for Joseph Benson. Knocking on the door of 13 seconds of a lead over Jamie Dunning. We're going to go back and take a look at another veterans racing driver, Seth LaCroix. Currently making his way past the lap track of the 17 of Joshua Edmonds. Seth looking to close the gap on the 20 car of Byron Gay. We'll go take a look at the 20 of Byron Gay. He is our biggest mover of the race. Currently up 15 positions, running in third. He tags the inside wall going through that corner. But Byron Gay, our biggest mover of the night, right along with him. Once again, Byron was one of those drivers that opted not to qualify, made his way through the pack. Looking to gain more positions. Byron Gay, very competitive here. At this point, I'm wondering, is he kicking himself for not qualifying here tonight? Making his way through the pack like that, I've got to think that he might have been one of the few drivers here that would have been able to compete with Joseph, the NCO Benson. We're going to pull up our pit strategy here and take a look who has pitted and who is not. Currently, the top 7 have not pitted tonight. Everyone else has made their way down pit road at some point earlier on in this race, but the top 7 currently strong when not pitting. Wayne saying it must be lonely at the top. I must agree, Wayne. Joseph does not have any competition up there at the front of the pack. Russ the Bus saying Purple Boy is back. Currently looking at the 20 of Byron Gay, trying to get by that lap traffic of Aaron Yancey in the 98. Aaron Yancey was holding on strong here early on in this race, but is now dropping back. As we go ahead, take a look from the Goodyear blimp at that 20 of Byron Gay. Byron out there all by himself. Seeing Chris Evans again involved in an incident. Let's go back, take a look, see what happened here. Chris Evans in that 17 car, going low, sent it in that corner very hot. I'm sorry, Chris Evans in the 23 car, sent in the corner very hot, gets into the tires on the outside there. And we're taking a look at the 88 of Joseph Benson, now out to a 15-second lead over Jamie Dunning. Joseph Benson, no traffic in front of him. He's got an opportunity to run away with this one. And we're going to go ahead and step away for a word from our sponsors.
It's race day on iRacing. The grid is set. Engines are rumbling. The chat is buzzing. The anticipation is building. But before the green flag waves, you need a moment that gets hearts racing. Hoorah Flyovers delivers cinematic, custom airplane flyovers for your iRacing or esports event, bringing real-world energy to your virtual track. Add a patriotic punch to your pre-race show, whether you're hosting a league championship, a memorial race, or just want to hype the crowd. Hoorah brings the thunder. Fully customizable, easy to book, stream ready, guaranteed to get your drivers and fans fired up. Because when the jets fly, everyone pays attention. Stand tall, fly loud, race proud. Hoorah! Visit Hoorah Flyovers on Discord or Facebook and bring the flyover experience to iRacing like never before.
All right, and we are back currently looking at the 45 car of Jonathan Dominic's. He's got his sights set on the 23 of Chris Evans. Looking to gain some track position here. All right, Jacob saying Russ the Bus is doing 1 push-up per second. Benson has over the second place car. E4 Mafia is back watching tonight. We are glad to have that E4 Mafia here, boys. Russ, if this race keeps going like it is, your chest is about to be hurting, buddy. Currently looking at Jonathan Dominic's. He tried to close the gap there. He gets loose, sends that car sideways. He's going to keep it straight, though. Still no caution. Once again, no cautions unless we see a major incident. But with these cars spread out like they are, we will probably not see a major incident tonight, and it will go green flag this whole race here. We're going to go back, take a look at the 88 of Joseph Benson. Trying to make Russ the Bus do some push-ups here. As he's currently closing with the 74 car of Brianna Lavin, currently 2 laps down now. Russ the Bus saying that all those push-ups are going to be worth it. I tell you what, Russ, we're going to get Joseph Benson to take a video of you doing those push-ups, and we will air it next week for the Cup Series. I'm sorry, 2 weeks from now for the Cup Series. I said I was not going to do any in-race interviews tonight, but I got to be honest, Joseph Benson, the way he's pulling away with this, I'm kind of tempted to pull him up into the booth and see if he can keep this pace while being interviewed. And Eric's saying he's got Red Bulls for sale. Get your Red Bulls here. I tell you what, send a couple of those over here. Currently seeing the 29 of Seth LaCroix heading down pit road here on lap 22. Also joined by Eric Jorgensen in the 59 car. Jonathan Dominics also opted to come down pit road, looking for fuel and tires here to make it to the end. I tell you what, though, pit strategy, I think, has gone out the window trying to race for a win as Joseph Benson out to an 18-second lead over Jamie Dunning. Jared Kuno and Brianna Lavin also making their way down pit road. Jared Kuno, just a quick stop. I do believe he used a quick repair there. Not much else going on for that 22 car on pit lane. And Eric, do you have any white monsters for sale? That has been my energy drink of choice as of late. Currently looking at the 23 of Chris Evans. Appears he missed his pit stall. Tough break there for that 23 car. We're going to go back, look at the second place car, that 54 of Jamie Dunning. Still sitting at about 19 seconds behind the leader. Watch Jamie as they go through that corner. You can see how hot these brakes are. They are glowing. Joseph Benson currently sets us at halfway, 25 laps completed of 50. Joseph Benson now entering pit road. Looking for a good pit stop here. Jamie Dunning also going to opt to come down pit road. Joseph Benson, no mistakes on pit road for that 88 machine. You see the 23 of Chris Evans spinning out. Coming down the front stretch. Chris recovers. Gonna lose some track position there. And we've got Joseph Truskowski in that 42 machine. We saw Joseph Truskowski with some trouble earlier on in this race. Saw that 42 machine sitting on pit road for quite a while. Joseph is back out there looking to make up some positions. Wayne saying Benson got that dog in him, and I do have to agree with you there, Wayne. I'm seeing Aaron Yancey involved in an incident. Let's go back and see what happened here. Aaron Yancey just getting loose, going through the corner. Once again, these corners are a very tough obstacle for these drivers, especially those who focus solely on the oval racing. And these track temperatures of 119 degrees tonight are surely not helping these drivers. So after these green flag pit stops having been completed, Joseph Benson opening up that lead over Jamie Dunning now to 27 seconds. We see the 22 of Jared Kuno crashing there. Let's go back and take a look. Jared Kuno driving that car hard. Completely misses his braking point. Sends it into the tires there. Some front end damage for that 22 car. Alright, and I just saw Russ the Bus message, but his message was retracted. I'm wondering if that was Russ cussing about how many push-ups he's about to have to do. All right, Russ saying, Dunning, no. I believe Russ entered the chat as a Joseph Benson fan. Now Russ, I believe, rooting for Jamie Dunning, hoping to not do that many push-ups. Ben saying at least one guy practiced. I tell you what, Ben, the amount of skill and practice it takes to come into the Chicago street course, I imagine that all these drivers have practiced this course tonight. But Joseph Benson definitely putting in the most practice there. Russ saying Dunning is controlling the amount of push-ups right now. Oh, Joseph Benson getting loose there in the corner. That's going to lower your amount of push-ups, Russ. Maybe Jamie Dunning still at a 27-second deficit there. We're going to step aside for another word from our sponsors.
At FedUps, we don't care how it gets there, just that it eventually does. We use cutting edge technology like guesswork, blind rage, and the occasional coin flip. Need help? Our customer service is standing by to put you on hold. Our drivers are trained professionals in rage quitting, road rage, and minor parkour. Have an issue? Hey, we delivered it, didn't we? At FedUp, we're not happy until you're not happy. Special instructions? I ignored it specifically. Signature required? We'll scribble something. Fragile? Let's test that theory. Customer service? Try screaming into the void. FedUp, we hate your package almost as much as you do.
FedUps is not responsible for damaged, late, lost, or completely incinerated packages. Batteries not included. Actually, nothing's included.
All right, and a big thank you to our sponsor, FedUp. It's probably going to get me in trouble later on and possibly have me lose my job, but we're going to continue to run that ad anyways. Wayne said, imagine spending a lot more for a rig and practicing for years just to get lapped and gapped. I tell you what, though, Joseph Benson has not lapped the entire field yet. We currently have 4 cars on the lead lap. We're going to go back, take a look at the 29 of Seth LaCroix, currently sitting in 3rd. Oh, looks like we have a couple cars involved in an incident. Chris Evans, Jonathan Dominics, and Byron Gay involved in an incident. Let's see what happened here. Looks like they're coming off a pit road. Chris Evans at the 23 car. Looks like Chris was just slow coming off a pit road. Making room for Seth LaCroix there. And I've got Brianna Lavin also involved in an incident. Brianna jumping to the pits. See what happened to her. Those brakes are hot. Was not able to slow that car down. Gets in the outside wall. Tough break for Brianna. We go back and take a look at that 29 car, Seth LaCroix. We'll ride along with him for a little bit. We go back, take a look at that 88 car of Joseph Benson, firmly in control of this one. Now with a 25-second lead over Jamie Dunning, a 40-second lead over Seth LaCroix, and a whopping 1-minute lead over Samuel Reed. Samuel Reed next in line to get lapped down. All right, and I said he hasn't lapped the whole field yet. Russ said the key word there is yet. I do have to agree with that, Russ. And Wayne's saying he's got 3 more cars to gap, and imagine getting gapped by a guy using an Xbox controller. We're going to have to ask Joseph Benson about that. I do believe he will get a post-race interview here tonight. But Wayne, I've got to say, from my experience on iRacing, an Xbox controller does give you a little bit of an advantage over the rest of the pack because you were able, you're a little bit quicker on your reflexes on an Xbox controller. Go and take a look at the 56 of Samuel Reed right along with him. Samuel Reed making his way through lap traffic, doing his best to stay on the lead lap here. Samuel Reed making his way through the streets of Chicago. At this point, I don't think Samuel's racing for position. He's just racing for the pride of saying, hey, I did not let Joseph Benson lap me here tonight. Currently looking at the track map. Joseph Benson still has some distance to go before he can catch that 56 to Samuel Reed. Now we're looking at the 54 of Jamie Dunning. Jamie Dunning heading down pit road here. Not sure what's going on with that 54. Looks like maybe some front end damage for the 54 of Jamie Dunning. Using a quick repair there, getting that car straight. That's going to allow Joseph Benson to open up that gap over Dunning, and Seth LaCroix in the 29 machine gets by Jamie as well. I tell you what, no one is more unhappy about that issue with Jamie Dunning than Russ the Bus in the chat. Your push-ups just doubled, Russ. Seth LaCroix currently sitting in second now. 46 seconds behind Joseph Benson. And we're going to go back, take a look at our biggest mover of the race, Byron Gay, in that 20 car, currently up 13 positions. Byron Gay still a lap down, though, even with all those positions gained. So he has his sights set on getting by the 42 car of Joseph Truskowski. Wayne saying they are here for big man Benson. And talk about Russ the Bus counting on second place. Russ, I tell you what, you better hope Seth LaCroix does not make a mistake there. So we see Joseph Truskowski. Some trouble for him. Spins out, ends up having to go down pit road. Another tough break for that 42 machine. Lee LaCroix entering the chat saying, looking good, Seth. I tell you what, Seth LaCroix is looking good, Lee. A very challenging track, some challenging weather conditions. Seth LaCroix currently sitting in second. But look out, because Jamie Dunning looking to close that gap with Seth LaCroix there. Jacob Stottlemyre saying 13 positions on a road course is impressive. I must say I agree, Jacob. I'm curious to know what would have happened if Byron Gay was one of the cars to qualify. Byron Gay opted out of qualifying tonight. Gained 13 positions. I do think with that kind of gain, Byron probably could have got up there and competed for a podium finish. Now only a 2-second gap between our second place car of Seth LaCroix and the third place car of Jamie Dunning. We're going to keep an eye on this, see if Jamie can close that gap more. I'll tell you what, Russ, I think he is the one who wants to see these guys battle the least, because if these guys start battling, that's going to allow Joseph Benson to open up that gap over second place. And Russ is going to have to do more push-ups. Jacob saying he thinks Byron Gay would have got a second place finish or a guaranteed podium if he would have qualified. tell you what, after this race, I will be wanting to ask Byron Gay why he did not qualify for this race as competitive as he could have been. A little bit of bonus interview for you guys. Go back and look at the battle for second. Currently still a 2-second gap between the cars. Jamie Dunning struggling to close the gap here. Right along with Jamie. Jamie really looking to close that gap. Not a very good corner for Jamie. Still closing the gap, though. Little by little. Jamie not able to slow it down, getting into the wall there. Tough break for Jamie. That'll allow Seth LaCroix to open up that gap. Now at about 5 seconds. Joseph Benson currently sitting at a 42-second lead over second place Seth LaCroix. Seth LaCroix is gaining a little ground on Joseph Benson here. Jamie Dunning also gained a little bit of ground as well after that incident with the outside wall. Gap between these two is 3 seconds. We're going to go back and look at the 56 of Samuel Reed, our last car on the lead lap. Currently still solidly ahead of Joseph Benson. I don't think Joseph Benson is going to have enough time here to complete the lap of everyone on the field tonight. Still a dominating performance by Joseph the NCO Benson. We're seeing Aaron Yancey involved in another incident. Let's go back to see what happened here. Aaron Yancey getting loose, losing control of that car. Has to lock up the brakes, get that car back straight, and continue on. We are now down to 10 to go. And we'll step away for one last word from our sponsors.
From the track to the tech, Creative Castle keeps your code running as clean as your laps. We test real-world devices and digital platforms so your next release won't crash in turn one. At Creative Castle, we elevate your software with expert quality assurance and cross-platform testing. Whether it's native apps or networked hardware, we deliver precision-tested performance at scale. Behind every smooth app and smart device is a quiet castle. Creative Castle. We're the quality wizards and test knights who battle bugs and break bad code before it breaks your product. Creative Castle. Quality at full throttle. Your quest for quality ends here.
All right, and we are back now with 9 to go. Joseph Benson still in control of this one. Seth LaCroix messed up there. That has allowed Jamie Dunning to close that gap. Out to about a second and a half. We're going to stay right here. Keep an eye on these two. See if we've got a late race battle forming. Seth LaCroix getting into the outside wall there. Jamie Dunning following suit. I do believe Jamie Dunning's still a little bit faster there. As Jamie looks to close the gap here. Right along with Jamie. Now, if you're sitting in Jamie's shoes, you have got to be perfect as we go through these last 8 laps. Hoping that Seth makes a mistake there. Right along on the nose camera of Jamie Dunning now. Seth trying to pull away. Gotta stay off the wall there, Seth. Jamie now gets into the wall. But that gap is closing. Jamie now has closed that gap to less than a second. We're going to see what Jamie can do with this. Only 7 laps left. Seth gets in the outside wall. Jamie's going to complete the pass. The battle for second. Jamie just took over second place. We're going to go back, take a look, see what exactly happened to Seth there. Seth just sending that very hard into that corner. Ends up going around, letting Jamie by. Tough break for Seth LaCroix in that 29 machine, but Jamie Dunning gonna capitalize on that. And now getting a 3-second lead over Seth LaCroix. And that is really the key to these races, folks. You've got to hope that the person in front of you makes a mistake. Maybe put some pressure on them. Help them make that mistake. I believe Seth was feeling the pressure from Jamie Dunning. Looking in his rear view, looking at his relatives, seeing that Jamie was closing. And maybe that got in Seth's head a little bit, causing Seth to overdrive that corner. We're going to go back, take a look at our leader, Joseph Benson. He was out to a 45-second lead. Now only 36 seconds over Jamie Dunning. I do believe Joseph got into some trouble there as they come down to 5 to go. Joseph still firmly in control of this one. He can afford to make a mistake or two here. And we're seeing more trouble for Aaron Yancey on track at 41. Aaron Yancey once again just overdriving it, getting that car sideways. Not going fully around, able to recover. Aaron Yancey, not very strong here at the Chicago Street Course. We go right back to Joseph Benson. Joseph getting ready to cross the line, make it 4 to go here. I'd just like to point out while we're watching the battle brewing for second place, Byron Gay, our biggest mover of the race, has now fallen a lap down. Byron Gay, some struggles here. That just leaves the question, if Byron would have qualified, would he have ended up a lap down? We see Aaron Yancey going for another spin. Troubles continuing for Aaron Yancey and Seth LaCroix. Also seeing Seth involved in an incident here. I go back, take a look, see what happened there. Seth LaCroix got to the throttle a little bit too much there. Sends his car around. So he tries to get that car straight. Seth LaCroix still in control of third position. With a 20-second lead over fourth place Samuel Reed. And Joseph Benson will cross the line, making it 2 to go now. A 30-second lead over Jamie Dunning. Jamie closing a little bit of the gap there. It's not going to matter as time winds down here, though. Russ, how you feeling about those push-ups, buddy? Oh, Jamie Dunning getting to the outside wall, it looks like. That's not going to help Russ out. Jamie not slow enough to let Seth LaCroix make up any meaningful ground there. Go back, take a look, see what happened here. Jamie just sending into that corner too hot. Gets to the outside there. All right, and we've got the white flag is out. Eric is telling Russ, drop to the front, leaning rest position in cadence. 1, 2, 3. But Joseph Benson in control of this one. Joseph Benson coming off the final turn. Gonna take home the checkered flag here. Impressive box to wire for Joseph, the NCO Benson. Jamie Dunning looking to finish second. Jamie locking up their tires there. Currently 47 seconds behind. We're saying just survive Dunning. I think Dunning slowed it down a little bit there for you, Russ. Jamie Dunning gonna cross the line in second. We'll round that up and say 50 seconds behind Joseph Benson. Seth LaCroix looking to come home third tonight. These cars complete the race. The unofficial result, your unofficial top five. We have Joseph Benson finishing first, Jamie Dunning in second, Seth LaCroix in third, Samuel Reed in fourth, and Byron Gay in fifth. So these drivers enter the chat for their interviews. I do want to talk to Byron Gay. He was our biggest mover of the race. And we will talk to Byron Gay first. Hey, Byron, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah.
Hey, so you did not get a top 3 podium finish, but we still want to talk to you tonight. You finished 5th, and you were our biggest mover of the race, gaining 13 positions. I do believe you did not qualify tonight. I just wanted to touch base and, see what led to that decision.
It wasn't a decision of qualifying or not. I hit the wall. So I really didn't get a good lap. So it just really put me on the back foot.
Okay, well, I do say you seem to have recovered here tonight. Do you think if you didn't hit the wall in that qualifying session, do you think you would have been able to compete with these guys for a top 3?
I think I would have been able to stick around them. I mean, we had the chaos going into turn 1, so I know my teammate Sam got involved in that. So I don't know if I wanted to be up there in the top 4 or where I was. At one point I was running third there for a little bit, and Seth was catching. So I think if I just had more confidence in myself and just could have stayed consistent, we could have kept the P3, but just too many mistakes in the second half of the race.
All right, I completely understand. Before we let you get on out of here, anyone you want to shout out tonight?
Yeah, big thanks to everybody over at QuickTime. Sam Reed helps me out a lot with this stuff. Tarmac Esports, Ryan over there, he's a great guy. Yourself for broadcasting this, and QuickTime, not QuickTime, sorry, Velocity Race Wraps. Sam does a great job doing some designs. He designed ours. So.
All right, well, we appreciate it. Congratulations on being our biggest mover of the night.
Thank you.
All right, once again, that was Byron Gay in the 20 machine, finishing 5th tonight. We're going to move on to our top 3 finishers. Seth LaCroix. He came home 3rd tonight. We're going to talk to him. Seth, it's Austin up at the booth. You got me?
Hey, I got you.
Hey, man, looks like you were running second for a while. You had a tough break there that allowed Jamie Dunning to get by you. Take us through what happened there.
Well, should have never even been there anyway because I got wrecked on the turn 1, lap 1. So I basically had to work my way from dead last back up there. So it was a battle to catch Jamie. In a second, driving my butt off, and I definitely used my tires up for sure. But there was just one corner, the last like 10 laps of the race, after that long straight. I just, even early braking, I was like wheel hopping it, and I was trying all kinds of different things, and ended up costing me second. But I mean, I'll take a third. But I feel like I don't have much wrists left. My force feedback was up a little too high, and they are after that race. That was brutal, but it was fun. It was a major challenge. So
All right. Well, congratulations on a podium finish. Anyone you want to shout out tonight?
yeah, how about say hi to my mom and my dad? They probably watching. I know Don Buzier, Josh's father. I know he watches. My brother watches too. So yep, freaking appreciate everyone watching and appreciate your broadcast, man. It's fun to watch it back and see
All
how
right.
bad I messed up.
All right. I don't think I caught any big mess ups. Maybe that battle with Jamie, but we appreciate you bringing the viewers to the chat tonight. Congratulations again on a podium finish.
Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Thank you, you too. Once again, that was our third place finisher, Seth LaCroix, coming home third after a mistake, allowing Jamie Dunning to take over second place. We're going to talk to Jamie next. Jamie, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
Gotcha.
All right. Congratulations on a second place finish here tonight, Jamie. We were
Thanks,
keeping a close eye on you and Seth LaCroix as the laps wound down there. Seth made a mistake, and you were able to take over second position. Take us through what happened there.
Well, I was far gone in second place for a while, and then I got wheel damage, so I used my last fast repair, and which brought Seth into the front of me, and then I just had to chase him down. Um, Winding down, all I was doing was just following him and hoping and praying for a mistake, which happened, unfortunately for Seth. I mean, he is a good racer. I practiced with him earlier in the day and our practice we had, and yeah, I mean that was the only thing that happened with that. And I coming to the last two laps, I was actually turning my wheel all the way to the left just to stay straight and hoping and praying I could make it to the end.
All right. Well, you made it, and you got a second place finish. That's something to celebrate. Before we let you get on out of here, anyone you want to shout out tonight?
I just want to shout out to you for putting the broadcast on, the league admins, and everybody that watched tonight. I hope it was a good show for them, being a road course race. And I'd like to thank the sponsors, Rick Chicken Barbecue, Zero X Designs, and the Fire Store.
All right. We appreciate it, sir. Congratulations again. Have a good night.
Thanks, you too, buddy.
Once again, that was Jamie Dunning coming home second tonight. And we're going to move on to our race winner, Joseph, the NCO Benson. Joseph, it's Austin up at the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Congratulations on the box to wire tonight. You took control of this race early, did not relinquish control. Take us through, this entire race. You pretty much gapped almost everyone and were closing the gap with even the guys in fourth place.
Yeah, I just wanted to stay smooth, stay consistent, keep it off the fence. Like that's the key to this track is just not hitting the wall, just taking your time through the turns and running consistent laps. I didn't hit one wall. I hit another car, unfortunately. He spun around in a blind corner, but that was the only incident that I had that whole race. So I'm pretty proud. That's a tough race, tough track. So you just got to stay focused on it.
All right, we appreciate it. And we did have some guys in the chat saying that you were better at road courses than you were at ovals. Is there any truth to that?
I think in the Cup car, yeah. Like if you put me in a Mazda or something crazy that I don't hardly ever drive, I'm pretty awful at those. But I think I've done enough laps to be good. I mean, I won last week at Dover, so that's an oval track. So.
All right, yeah, back-to-back winner here. So congratulations on that. One final question for you. Russ the Bus in the chat had a little side bet going. He's going to do a push-up for every second ahead of the second place car you are.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm going to be pushing for. It's live and on YouTube now. I don't know how many seconds I was ahead, but I think it was 20, 25 or so. So, yeah, he owes me. We'll up it a notch, right? He'll do some burpees instead of some push-ups.
All right, so just a correction there. It was about 50 seconds, and
okay. Yeah.
Can you record that for us? I want to see him in uniform And you said burpees. He's going to have to do burpees.
Yeah.
I want a recording
we'll
of
go
him
with
doing
burpees.
burpees.
All right,
And
yeah,
we'll
too easy. I'll send it up in the chat.
All right. We will be looking forward to that here in 2 weeks, watching him do those burpees. So happy 4th of July, Russ. But congratulations again, Joseph. Back-to-back wins. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go start the celebration?
Yeah, I'll shout out the wife and kids in the house. I'll shout out Seth, all the veteran racing guys. We've been practicing all week. Me and Seth are pretty competitive. He keeps beating my time, and then I'll beat his time, and it's just been like that all week. So it's been fun.
All right. We appreciate it. We will let you get on out of here and start celebrating. Hopefully you don't have to go back to duty tonight.
Yeah, no, not this weekend.
All right. Congratulations again, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Once again, that was Joseph Benson in the 88 machine, completing the box to wire to take home the win here tonight. Russ, get ready to sweat, buddy. And we're going to go ahead and run through our official results. All right, and looking through our official results, it appears Joseph Benson finished so far ahead, he broke the software, but Joseph Benson takes home the win. Jamie Dunning finishing second, Seth LaCroix in third, Samuel Reed comes home fourth, Byron Gay will come home fifth, Jared Kuno in sixth, Joseph Truskowski finishes seventh, Chris Evans in eighth, Jonathan Dominics in ninth, Aaron Yancey will finish 10th, Terrell Wheeler in 11th, Tyler Clifford comes home 12th, Joshua Edmonds will finish 13th, Brianna Lavin in 14th, Eric Jorgensen back there in 15th, Christopher Foote will come home 16th, Chris Jones finishes 17th, Scott Leonard will finish 18th, and Zach Bartow will round out the field back in 19th. All right. And I want to say thank you to everyone for tuning in. Thank you for joining in the chat tonight. Jacob saying Russ is about to be hurt, and Wayne said we got the 50 push-up video for you to play live. We will be waiting for that, Wayne. I'll be messaging Joseph, the NCO, Benson, about getting that video before our next broadcast. And Donald Bussier saying thank you, Seth, and good job. Once again, thank you guys all for tuning in. Thank you for chatting tonight. If you have not already, please hit that like, follow, subscribe button. And please go over to Facebook and follow us on Facebook as well, the Rebel Racing Network on Facebook. Once we get 100 followers on Facebook, we can bring these races live to Facebook as well. So please go ahead and do that. And we will be right back here tomorrow at 9 o'clock for the National Outlaw Racing Association ARCA Series. And then after that, we will have a week off for the 4th of July holiday, then back here in 2 weeks for the Cup Series. Once again, thank you guys all for tuning in, and we will see you guys here tomorrow.